Okay, well, you can like view all the categories here. What's cool is that you can search by game, so you can be like, I don't know, Zelda, and then bam, you can see that that exists in these five categories, which is pretty cool. I don't know that they've ever done that before. Let's see, what about Spider-Man? Wait a second, seven? Oh, no result exists. My bad. I meant to do this. Dude, who can Spider-Man just have no hyphen, please? What is the point? Like, you need to separate those words for what? Who's getting confused? In case you thought he was a Spider-Man instead of a Spider-Man. Like, okay. Are we 3 years old? So here you go, guys. Best esports event. Because these things still go on, I guess. Even though, like, every esports team in the universe is like 500% in the hole. They don't know how to make money off this stuff. They spend way more than they make. And it's just a red zone for like everybody involved, except for the players, obviously. Dude, the players are raking it in, and then the teams that sponsor them, just they're out on the streets living in boxes. Even though I'm streaming this, I'm still gonna do like a scripted version where I talk shit about everything and give like, the well thought responses to some of this stuff, but this is like what serves as a preamble for like, let me pick my audience's brain about some stuff that's going on here. Maybe I'll get some ideas. Best esports coach. This is still the memeiest category of all time. Why is this a category? How do you quantify that? How do you know? Every esports team is like, yeah, our coach was the best. He was like, go mid, and then we won. Some of the nicknames I understand. Who's like, yeah, I'm Remy, but call me XTQZZZ. Yeah, I don't think so. This dude looks like a contract killer, so I'll probably stop making fun of him. But like XTQZZZ. Dude, this guy's been nominated like 5 times in a row. I feel like I see him every year. Has he ever won? This is the guy that I made fun of for being depressed last year. And he doesn't look a lot happier this year either. It looks like being a coach is taking its toll on him. God, that's not how you spell gaming, my guys. I can tell why you became gamers instead of language arts professors. Fanatic, you forgot a letter, dude. What are you doing out here? You can't just be illiterate and act like you're cool. Esports athlete? Dude, I read a thing about this guy. Faker is like the Beatles where he comes from. Like, when he shows up to the venue, people are lined up out there trying to like suck his dick real quick, like on the red carpet or something. Like, this guy is the most famous gamer of all time, basically. Like, he's literally like the BTS of League of Legends. Dude, what are these trophies? These are exquisite. We're in the best esports game now. That's at least a little more in the ballpark. What do you guys think? Is it PUBG Mobile? Is it a fucking phone game that's the best esports game? Like, I understand that PUBG is not just on mobile, but like, why do you got the mobile in here? Are people at like esports conventions with just their freaking iPhone 14s out like, yes, yes, snipe that guy, come on. Like, dude, you go to an esports convention, everybody's got their phone out like they're waiting for the subway, but they're actually trying to win like $5 million. Imagine accidentally going to the airplane mode on a tournament. You're like the last one alive in PUBG Mobile. And there's just one other guy, and you're in this tense 1v1 situation, and right in the middle of it, your mom calls you. CS2. Isn't Counter-Strike 2 like literally just Counter-Strike? I want to know what did they change in Counter-Strike 2 that warrants it being called Counter-Strike 2? Is it like Overwatch 2 where they just like took one person off each team and then resold you the game for however much? Although Overwatch 2 was free to play, wasn't it? I mean, look, it's not like we had to pay for Counter-Strike 2, so it's not like a big deal. It's just, why did they do that? Did they add more maps? Did they add more guns? Did they add 5,000 more crates you can gamble your life savings on? It's the same everything? Why is it called Counter-Strike 2 then, dude? Again, we're not voting now. I'm gonna go through and vote in a separate scripted video. This is just kind of a preamble. We're getting a feel for what's going on here, so I know what to write about. Content creator that, dude, I must be getting old because I only know this name. I only know Quackity. I've never heard of any of these other people. This is the biggest like who like WTF these people are that I've ever seen at the Game Awards. A VTuber, 3 white guys, and PMG. Damn. Oh, that's right, dude. That's right. This is a VTuber. I think I've heard that name before. Hot take on VTubers. How come? You should be on there. Yeah, okay. What did I do this year? I uploaded a Liza P boss ranking. That's my big contribution for 2023. Hell yeah. I made approximately zero splash in gaming discourse. I uploaded a video saying Lords of the Fallen was mid. Put me on content creator of the year. Are VTubers usually ugly or something? Yeah, or they just have like the lowest self-esteem. You know, there's attractive people out there whose self-esteem is just in the toilet, and like those people become VTubers because they're like, oh, I had a pimple once, I'm ugly for the next 10 years. I feel like if you're a VTuber, I feel like you're just setting yourself up for like more creeps in your stream that just like jerk it to whatever OC you made. Where's Amaranth? Not gonna lie, dude, she like has like vagina beer now or something. How is she not up here? And let me tell you, her husband didn't make her do that one. Okay, we're into the actual gaming stuff again now. Most anticipated game. Dude, this is how you know that 2024 is going to be a flop. And I'm not saying that in like some, oh, these games are bad kind of way. It's just that there's like nothing here that is. First of all, where's Elder Scrolls 6? Like, you had that last year. They're still doing it. No one cares about Elder Scrolls 6 anymore. What about GTA 6? That's another one. Especially because now we're closer than ever to actually knowing stuff about that. But yeah, it's just like this, to me, most anticipated game this year lacks any of the like supremely culturally impactful stuff. Tears of the Kingdom was like a mega thing to look forward to before it came out. Starfield, honestly, was until it came out, and then, you know, it was the way that it turned out. Cyberpunk, that was another these are games that I think of where like for most anticipated game, those are heavy hitters. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, why are you like I understand the Yakuza series is good, but this is not on people's radar that hard. Even if you're a Yakuza fan, you don't care this much about this game. F1 23. Is F1 like that's not drag racing, right? That's is it's like NASCAR, isn't it? Where like they drive in a circle and then sometimes you go and get your pit crew to like replace all your body parts in like 3 seconds and then you go back out there. Yes, but F1 fans will feel insulted if you say it is. Oh, okay. F1 fans are the cultured NASCAR fans. Got it. They bring wine to the track instead of beer. Understood. Where's Disney Speedstorm? Okay, to be honest, I actually think Disney Speedstorm should be on here. It came out of early access, I thought. Disney Speedstorm is pretty good. Like, I'm gonna say it, okay? I'll be that guy. Best sim strategy. Dude, is this not another category that Baldur's Gate 3 could be in? I don't really get the difference between strategy because it's like turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay. Okay, turn-based strategy gameplay is Baldur's Gate 3. That's what that is. Like Fire Emblem Engage is a sim slash strategy, but Baldur's Gate 3 is not a sim slash strategy. I don't know why. I don't understand the difference. I feel like it's just so that it wouldn't win literally everything. And then yeah, that's the other thing is because Baldur's Gate 3 is not in here, this would have been the best chance for Marvel's Midnight Suns, which came out like December of last year, so it missed the cutoff of last year's Game Awards, so it's in contention for this year, but no one even remembers that anymore, including the people on the committee, I guess. This would have been the perfect situation for Marvel's Midnight Suns to actually get something, because if that was on here, I would vote for it, and it should win. Dude, Marvel's Midnight Suns was like the most surprising thing I played last year. Like, I couldn't believe how good that game was. You're gonna make me vote for Fire Emblem Engage instead. Even though that game didn't have New Game Plus, which fucking crippled it. Absolutely crippled its longevity. I would still be playing Fire Emblem Engage if it had New Game Plus. It's so stupid that they didn't put it in there. The bond rings, the emblem rings, and like being able to cross-pollinate with all the different people with different rings to get different abilities, that is absolute New Game Plus fodder in a way that almost outshines Fire Emblem Three Houses, and they didn't do it. That's why your game's an 8 out of 10 instead of a 10. Okay, that's why. Hate to be the bearer of bad news. And then people are voting Pikmin 4. Is that just because you're not that into any of these other games, or do you really like love Pikmin 4? There was I saw a tweet on Twitter of like someone was making like a running tally of like a meme of the top 5 or 6 games of the year, and then anytime a new game came out that was gonna bump one of them, then they would update it. That thing had Pikmin 4 on it, and I was like, do people like that much? Like, do people really think Pikmin 4 is Game of the Year contender worthy? Or is that just people who only have a Switch and they get like 3 games a year? Yeah, I don't know. You never like just by looking at a fighting game, you can't really tell how good it is. You really have to play it and see how it feels. It's so important. It's just like racing. Racing and fighting games, you cannot just judge them based on what you're looking at. You have to get that controller in your hands. All right, next we got Best RPG. Dude, we got the Lies of P nomination. It happened. Ooh, guess which game isn't on here? Lords of the Fallen. Whoa, no way. It's almost like the reviews are mixed on Steam for a reason. Is it possible for a Nick All-Star Brawl sequel to be as good as Smash Ultimate? No. It's impossible for any platform fighting game to be as good as Smash Ultimate unless they actually hijack the engine and make it feel exactly the same. But that's not what they do. Instead, they make these platform fighters that are closer to like these other indie platform fighters. They use those mechanics instead, and it's like there's a reason those games aren't as popular. It's because they don't feel as good to play. They're like, we want to make the next Smash Killer, but we're going to copy Brawlhalla's engine. Yeah, that's not going to work out for you guys. You're coming at this all wrong. Okay, so best RPG. I mean, I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 is obviously still going to win that. It doesn't really matter what other game kind of sneaks its way on here. If Baldur's Gate 3 is in the category, it's winning. Oh wait, first I do have to tell you, Sea of Stars, absolutely fantastic game. This game deserves best RPG in a vacuum. Like, if this game won best RPG, regardless of whatever it was up against, like, it deserves to win best RPG. Lies of P deserves to win best RPG in a vacuum. I don't know if Final Fantasy 16 deserves to win best RPG in a vacuum. That game, the side quests and the traversal were just an absolute slog. But like the story is very good. I liked the characters, I liked the world building and all that. But like the RPG nature of Final Fantasy 16 is actually kind of its worst part. You know, you kill enemies, you level up stats that are like the same stats that get leveled up every single time. There's no like build, there's no variety there. You find ore and stuff to make weapons that are just like across the board slightly better than the last weapon you made. And then all it is you're just like, you're the same person, but you're just scaling to keep up with the enemies. And that's like the least satisfying kind of RPG. It's just bigger numbers, exactly. It's just bigger numbers, but you don't actually feel the effects because the enemies also have bigger numbers. Like, in that regard, this is kind of a terrible RPG. But I like the combat. I like the combat in this Final Fantasy the best of probably any of the Final Fantasies. Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Star Wars Jedi Survivor getting some recognition, dude. I know if you're a PC player and you bought this game at launch, you probably hated yourself. But Star Wars Jedi Survivor is so good. It's very good. Okay, and then you got Best Action Game, which are action games where you do not go on adventure. You do not get to get your Bilbo Baggins on when you play action games. There is no adventure waiting for you. Who put Dead Island 2 on this list? The fuck? Why was Dead Island nominated? Yeah. Dude, this game sucks. I hate to say it because I spent $60 on it and I did it on the wrong platform where I could not get a refund, but Dead Island 2's combat is just some of the worst. Fucking spongy, beefy ass zombies who don't stagger when you attack them. Who thought that was a good idea? They like randomly have armor half the time. I don't know if that's... I'm scared of Remnant 2 being one of those things where, like, it's not bad, so people think it's amazing. In terms of the type of thing that it is. But it's still, like, real janky. Because, like, the first Remnant game was not very good, but just because of what it was super carried by the fact that it was, like, a shooter Souls-like. All right, so I want to talk about Hi-Fi Rush because this game gained notoriety. It owes probably 40% of its acclaim to the fact that it came out like either the same day or right around Forspoken. Forspoken was January this year? I feel like that game was 10 years ago. Okay, yeah, it was. Okay, I am thinking of the right thing. I think January 2023 feels like it was back in 2021. It's my sense of time has gone out the window. But yeah, okay, so it was Forspoken. This game came out like either the same day or right around the same day as Forspoken, and then everybody was like shitting on Forspoken, and then they were like, play Hi Fi Rush instead. This is like a non AAA thing that costs half the price. Actually, it was on Game Pass, so it was free on there too. And then this was kind of like the antithesis of Forspoken, and so that's why it gained a lot of notoriety. But then there's like this section of the internet that thinks that this game is like game of the year material, and I don't get that at all. I played this game for like 2 hours. It's fun, it's fresh, it's interesting. Game of the year though? Like, I don't think so, man. I'm not gonna say that this is like this year's version of Stray, because I don't think it's that bad. Because I actually like this game, and this game is good. It's a good game. It's just not game of the year worthy. Every year, there's one indie game people overrate to high hell, and this is it right here. It's Hi-Fi Rush. It was Stray last year. It's Hi-Fi Rush this year. But like, I have a more positive opinion of Hi-Fi Rush than I do of Stray. There has to be better action games than some of these. There's no way this is the cream of the crop. I don't know what's missing. I couldn't tell you right now, but I feel like some stuff's missing here. Best mobile game. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Hello Kitty. I thought this game was a meme from 10 years ago. This is still a thing. I remember people would joke about Hello Kitty Island Adventure when I was in high school. I'm 29 now. Yeah, Honkai Star Rail is like the absolute, like, there's no chance anything else wins. This game, Honkai, I like this better than Genshin. I'll say it. This game is better than Genshin. And I have been playing it consistently ever since it came out. So, like, I've played it pretty much every day for the last 6 or 7 months. Hello Kitty Island Adventure was mentioned in the World of Warcraft episode of South Park. That's how old it is. What the hell did they just step up their game in 2023? What the hell did they do? I haven't seen this game on any of like in the last 10 years. In the entire history of the Game Awards, I never seen this game on Best Mobile. What did they do this year? Did they like put titties in it or something? Like, why is everyone talking about it now? Hello Titty Island Adventure? Come on. Okay, best debut indie game. When I as soon as I saw this category, I immediately went to best indie game to see if the games that were missing from here were in there, because debut is like most people don't know which games are the first game from the studio. So I was in here like, okay, I don't see Dave the Diver, I don't see Sea of Stars, or Sea of Stars, so that those must not be debut games from the studios. I still think that Pizza Tower is a meme, and I've been curious about the meme. Like, is this game just being overhyped by children, or is it actually good? I know it's like based on Wario Land or something, or it's like that kind of game. I don't know, dude. I don't know about Pizza Tower. Like, maybe I'll try it at some point, but it's still like $20, and I don't want to spend that on that. Dredge is like, it's okay. I enjoy. It's a fun atmosphere to like get sucked into immediately, and then after like 4 or 5 hours, you're like, all right, I get it. Like, I get the gist of this game. I can move on. It's not something that I felt compelled to finish. And then I actually reviewed Venba. This game is, I mean, it's just a story. Like, you don't really do a whole lot. There's like some cooking puzzles, but they're not. It's kind of interesting to figure out like different like cultural dishes, because some of those I was cooking on here and I was like, damn, I kind of want to try that. But the story is, it's okay. It's about a family that immigrates to Canada from India, and they're like some weird tribe of Indians that's like rarer. Like, they're like, if you spot one in the wild, it's like it would have like they would have like an orange glow coming out of them, because like that's a legendary drop as far as race is concerned. Like, there's not a lot of these people around anymore. They're like from some kind of ancient civilization or something in India. SSR Indian? Exactly. Like, there's like a 0.34% chance for this loot to drop. But yeah, like it's like a 2-hour game. It's a decent story. It's not like best debut indie game material at all, but it's interesting. Best independent game, dude. Here it is: Dave the Diver, Sea of Stars, and then 3 of the games from the last category as well. And look, I love Sea of Stars, but I would have to vote Dave the Diver here, dude. It's sushi. It's half diving, half managing a sushi restaurant. This game is so good and just it loves itself in a way. Like it felt playing it, it felt like it loved the process of game development because it was out here trying so many new stuff that it didn't have to do. And I just really got the sense that it was crafted with love and care. Baldur's Gate 3 probably wins though. It got so much support it's unreal. Damn, I have no concept of like what has changed since this game came out. Other than, well, you're talking about like back when it was in early access too, right? Because this game was in early access for like 2 years or something. And then it got all of the updates that it ever got. If we're just talking about stuff that's happened since it fully launched, would you still say that it would warrant this? Because I think community support on a game that's still in early access doesn't really warrant any kind of reward, because that's what you're supposed to do. That's why you put the game in early access to begin with. But if you do a bunch of community support after the game fully launches, then that's you going above and beyond. I just hope Reformed Rabbi Bill Clinton is present to accept his award in person this year. The only thing to do if you're Jeff Keighley in this situation and you just had a guy like rush the stage to say something about Bill Clinton or whatever is to have Bill Clinton present an award next year. It's like, even if the dude doesn't give a shit about games, just the fact that he's on stage in the context of that would be like the most baller move of all time. Games for impact. Goodbye Volcano High. I will, dude, as far as impacting meme culture, I'll give you that one. As far as creating something for the entire internet to mercilessly lambast and make fun of and literally make a parody game that is supposedly better than the game before you even release the game, then yeah, you had a pretty good impact. Dude, you announce your game and then a group of whatever people make a parody of your game that like the scope of their game is bigger than the scope of your game and they get done with it first. Like, what are you doing? Do you have no work ethic? What's going on? I don't know. I mean, some of them are like obvious social justice, and then some of them is just like, oh, you know, we're just spotlighting like a culture that no one's ever heard of or is in the cultural zeitgeist ever. Like, that's what Tachia is. I didn't play all of Tachia, so I don't know if they go that like preachy route at the end, but as far as I knew, this game was just like, it's a real culture of people. There's like 100 of them that live on an island, and this game is just like about that. The only accessibility thing I remember from this is that they made it so you don't actually have to interact with the rhythm format at all. So like the way Hi-Fi Rush works is it's a rhythm action game. The entire world moves to a beat, and your attacks need to be on beat in order to do more damage and stuff. But there's an accessibility thing where it just removes the rhythm aspect, and you can still just mash if you want to. And I don't know who that's accessible for, like white people or like people who don't have rhythm. And I get to say that because I'm a white guy with rhythm. Okay. Sorry, I'm just better than some of you. It's not your fault. You were just born that way. But yeah, I don't know. That's an accessibility thing that completely takes away the entire fucking point of the game. So I don't know about that one. All right, best performance. This is where like I gotta dispute one of these things here. Dude, all the people in Alan Wake 2, and you picked the person who gave the worst performance. This character barely even emotes until like the very end of the game. I don't know, dude. You could have picked the guy who played Alan Wake. That would have been fine. You could have picked... You know who you should have picked? You should have picked the chick who played Alice Wake. Alice Wake is the best actor in this video game. And she's on screen for like 5 minutes. I will die on this hill that actress deserves a nomination. She is the best actor in the game, and she delivered the best acting performance out of any of these games. And all she did was like leave some video diaries in places. Okay, so Neil played Asterion. This is another problem I have. You need to have the character name in this thing. I don't know who the hell Neil Newbon played in Baldur's Gate 3 if I didn't play a ton of Baldur's Gate 3, and even if I did, if I didn't like watch the credits, then how would I know? Like you gotta have the character name in here so people know what they're voting for. There's probably some people that are like, oh my god, I love Asterion, but who the fuck is Neil Newbon? Look at that, Cameron Monaghan. Look at that guy. Dude, this dude played the Joker in Gotham, and he killed it. Cameron Monaghan, great actor. He doesn't have a whole lot to do in this game as far as acting is concerned, but let me just say that this guy, fantastic actor. Ben Starr in Final Fantasy 16, dude, he's got screams, okay? His, like, screams of agony and pain are some of the best in the business that I've heard. Has there been a single inclusion of Hogwarts Legacy yet, or does that not fall into this year? We can actually check that. Hogwarts. Nope. They did not nominate it for a single thing, which is either A, to avoid controversy, or B, because it just kind of basically slightly misses the cutoff of a lot of these categories. It's like if they nominated 5 games for a given category that Hogwarts Legacy might be included in, I feel like Hogwarts Legacy would deserve to be the 6th game. I think it barely is edged out by some of the competition. I had a good 12 to 13 hours of a good time with Hogwarts Legacy. That game was fun when it came out. I think Super Mario Bros. Wonder for game direction makes a lot of sense. Specifically reading the interviews where they were like, we wanted every level to have one thing that would surprise players. So like the Wonder Seed, all the different stuff that the Wonder Seeds do in each of these levels, that honestly deserves best game direction on its own to me. That's the kind of philosophy that would really benefit a lot of video games. And you got Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which I don't know why it would get best game direction when it's literally just expanding on the exact same game direction as... Never mind, dude, Ultra Hand. Forgot. Best... Okay, if there was like a best game mechanic, that should go to... They should have a best game mechanic category. Like, best new thing that, like, people haven't seen before or is, like, gonna get copied from now on. That would go to Ultra Hand in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. That would sweep that. I feel like you could reach into some of these games, take out a particular mechanic that's, like, particularly unique, and then you could, like, place them against each other and have that be a category. Spider-Man Insta Fast Travel as a mechanic, kinda. Ooh, dude. That would totally be good. They have fast travel down to the frickin' intersection in Spider-Man 2. You open the map, hover over any street you want, hold the X button, you're immediately there in that exact spot, basically. And already swinging, so like it keeps your momentum. There's 0 load time. It's an instant transition. That's definitely another kind of thing that would like go there. Lies of P weapon assembly, that's another one. Thank you for bringing that up. The splitting the handles and the blades to like have the different stats associated with them, that would also go in like best mechanic. And I feel like you would also put the Wonder Seeds from Super Mario Bros. Wonder in that. Having the like weapon assembly thing in there would also like shut people up in terms of it being like, oh, it's just a clone, bro. It's a Bloodborne clone. Like, dude, just say you haven't played the game. It's got so much new stuff in there. The final category, dude. What do we think about the games of the year? First of all, I was almost spot on with my predictions because they tweeted out asking, what do you guys think that we're going to put for game of the year? And I said Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and then I said Final Fantasy 16 instead of Super Mario Bros. Wonder because that's what I thought they would do. So this is what we got, and I understand all of the picks. The reason Alan Wake 2 is here is because the Game Awards loves live action shit. And also because Alan Wake, as a franchise, is just like a really huge deal to a lot of critics. And then Baldur's Gate 3 is here because, obviously. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is here because, obviously. The first Spider-Man was nominated for Game of the Year back in 2018. It lost to the original God of War reboot. But yeah, this game is just better than that game, like, completely, so it obviously definitely should be deserved. It's just a better Spider-Man across the board. Resident Evil 4 is here because every Resident Evil game that's come out has been nominated for Game of the Year except 3, because 3 was too short and people didn't like it as much. But 2 was nominated back in 2019, and then 4 is like most people's favorite Resident Evil game, so it's just an absolute shoo-in that the remake for that would go in there. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is nominated because even as someone who is not like super into 2D Mario anymore, like I look at this game and I say objectively that's pretty much perfect. This is kind of what a perfect game looks like. Maybe the best representation of a perfect game that we have this year. And then you have Tears of the Kingdom because everybody was freaking out about that when it came out. And they were making like giant statues with flaming dicks and siege weapons and Trojan horses and like all-terrain giant commando vehicles. They made a fucking Gundam in here or something. Like people really went hog wild for all the Ultra Hand stuff you could do in there. But as far as the game itself is concerned, it really just is Breath of the Wild again, but they added an underground and some stuff up in the sky. Like functionally, that's what it is. You even go to like the same four corners of the map again that for some reason you don't have filled in anymore. It's like, dude, I was just here. I just filled in this entire map. Why do I gotta go do it again? We gotta go visit all the towers again? But yeah, some of the like mechanics that they introduced definitely like changed the game though. But yeah, dude, I mean, that's basically the size of it as far as like discussing all the stuff that's going on. I'm going to do a scripted video that I do where like I roast and vote for the nominations for Game of the Year. I've done that twice or three times now, and this will be either the third or the fourth, and I'm excited. It'll be fun, and we'll have a lot to talk about. There's really not very many controversies compared to last year. This might be the Game Awards' most solid stack of nominations here. Like, there's really nothing to argue with here. At least if you know the Game Awards. You can have, like, your own preferences and stuff, but all of these games make sense to be here.